Tonight on Cardinal Sports Live, the men's soccer team continues to dominate in the SUNYX while the women's soccer season finally comes to a close.
We will also have Dave Edwards on later to talk about some hockey. Is it live night, Derek?
It's always live night, Josh, here on Cardinal Sports Live. Welcome to Cardinal Sports Live, brought to you by Play It Again Sports. I'm Derek Palaki.
And I'm Josh Luttrell. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Now, Derek, what's this broken record you've been talking about so much?
It all has to do with one sport. We always start off with the same one. Colleen should know this, and you do too. It's volleyball. Like the broken record, the pull toy at the back, whatever euphemism I like to use, we always start off with volleyball, and let's get right into it, shall we?
Yeah, let's get right into it. In their first game of the Dig Pink tournament, the volleyball team took on Hartwick in 5 close sets. After losing the first 2 sets, Plattsburgh woke up in the third with Rosie Cummings slamming down a match high of 19 kills, as well as Maggie Schranz, who dominated the net with 11 kills and 10 digs. Plattsburgh earned the win, taking the next 3 sets Friday afternoon, and prepared to take on Montclair State later that day.
And after the 3-set comeback against Hartwick, the Lady Cards took on Montclair, as Josh said, that same day. Plattsburgh got off to a 1-set lead after winning 25-18. The Red Hawks took the second set 25-19, but the Cardinals in true fashion would sweep the last 2 sets 25-17 and 25-22. Laura D. Hill knotted 18.5 points and 16 kills, while Rosie Cummings proved to be as formidable with 16 points, 16 kills, and a team-high 19 digs.
Keeping their 2-game winning streak afloat, the volleyball team faced Ithaca in 4 sets in their last day of the Dig Pink tournament. After defeating the Bombers in the first set 25-16, the Lady Cards had to keep up their momentum with help of Maggie Schranz, who finished the game with a match high of 16 kills. The Cardinals took the victory in the final set 25-13, and grad student Rosie Cummings earned a spot in the Dig Pink Invitational All-Tournament team.
And looking for 4 wins in 2 days at the said Dig Pink Invitational, the Lady Cards finished off against host Oneonta. After winning in somewhat relative ease in their last 2 matches, the Red Dragons were able to get on the board first with a 25-11 set win. They continued their run with a 25-19 second set. Plattsburgh and their flair for the dramatic would keep them in the game, and they would take the third set 25-11. But that was all she wrote in this one. The Red Dragons took the final set 25-18. With the Invitational over, all that stands in their way now is the SUNYX tournament. Plattsburgh, will take on Potsdam this Friday in New Paltz. Now, Josh, we look at this, and we look at their prior schedule with that 1 loss to Oneonta, but there's a little area here to look good to, because Potsdam, who they're playing, they beat early in Potsdam on the 12th of October in 3-2, and previously they've beat Oneonta. So going into this, they're looking good.
Momentum's the key, and like we said, 3 wins in a row in this Dig Pink tournament. It was just completely dominant. Like I said, Rosie Cummings, who actually I went to school with back in the day in Beatmantown, she was dominant back then. She's dominant now as a grad student here at Plattsburgh State. She's the key to this team, and hopefully they'll keep on advancing.
Now, like we said, you said momentum is everything. 3 wins. If you look back to their last 5, they've won 5 out of their last 6 going back into the regular season. Now the Dig Pink tournament, didn't mean anything for seeding, didn't mean anything for playoffs. They're in, they're there. It's against Potsdam. We know when it's going to be. It's going to be the 8th. That's this Friday at 6 p.m. against New Paltz. So they've got everything going for them.
They definitely do. They have leadership. They have chemistry. Those are the 2 things you need on a team. They got it. They got the momentum, and right now they're looking to be the favorites in my point.
Oh, you got to believe they could be some sort of favorites. And we go back to broken record again, bringing up Dina O'Connell, the coach. She's got to be so happy with how they've been playing, the way they've come together this year. I mean, they've had their ups, they've had their downs. We come in one week, well, volleyball didn't do well this weekend. We come back, well, they had an okay. But the last few weeks it's been volleyball, 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 up, up, up. And they're looking to do something great here, definitely.
And it's more like a family atmosphere with them, and that's what you need. You need the bonding structure of this team, and like we said, momentum is going to keep them going for this volleyball team, and the sky's the limit, in my opinion.
What can you say about the players, though? Laura Dehill, Rosie Cummings, just phenomenal athletes that are really showing their true potential.
Yeah, it's not just one all-star. They have so many girls on this team that can step up, fill in the hole, and do a dominant job every time.
It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. But when we come back, we'll see how the men and women's cross-country teams did.
And we'll have our men and women's soccer results on deck, so don't go anywhere. CSL will be right back.
While dining on the main deck or inside. Known for seafood, steak, and spirits, its friendly atmosphere will keep you coming back. Open from 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. each night until New Year's.
We welcome you back into CSL. We're going to get into some men's cross-country action. The team finished 8th out of 10 teams competing in the SUNYAC Championships this past Saturday in Oneonta. Freshman Ethan Vincent proved again to be the top runner for the Cardinals. He led the charge for the team's 8th place finish, finishing 53rd. Zach Rose and Jason Flack finished 58th and 59th respectively. The Cardinals will now travel to Geneseo Saturday the 16th to compete in the NCAA Atlantic Regional Cross-Country Championships.
Now moving on to women's cross country, the team finished in 7th place during the SUNYAC Championships this Saturday morning. Kelly Driscoll crossed the finish line in 5th place to lead her team with a time of 22:14. Kanie Eatman improved her finishing position by 18 spots, crossing the finish line in 13th place. As a team, the Lady Cards racked up a total of 179 points. Next Saturday, Plattsburgh will travel to Geneseo to compete in the NCAA Atlantic Regional Cross Country Championship, scheduled to begin at 11 a.m.
The women's soccer team played their final game of the season Tuesday afternoon against Norwich University, sweeping Norwich, who was 11-0, finishing their season 5-11-12. In the first 36 seconds of play, Deanna DeCosio scored her 5th goal of the season, putting the Cards on the board. And from there, it was smooth sailing for Plattsburgh. Cassidy Clavitt scored 2 goals for the Cards in the second half, as well as freshman Maddie Tremblay, who scored her first collegiate goal. Plattsburgh totaled 40 shots throughout the match, and seniors Emily Lalone and Lauren Gonier were recognized for playing their last games in their collegiate careers. Now going from women's to men's, let's kick it off to men's soccer team who hosted Buffalo State in the SUNYAC quarterfinals. Let's get into that action right now. It was a phenomenal game, rainy, blustery semifinals match. Both teams looking to advance to the semifinals. This game would not disappoint from the beginning. Sit down, get ready. It was a great game. Plattsburgh looking to get on the board early, but Nick Economo getting this one and way high over the net, too high there. Buffalo State now with an opportunity, but check out Mitchell Jordan getting the save and punching it away. Jordan would not be outmatched by Michael Moratis. This one up close, big save, defense sends it away. Moratis wasn't done impressing. Ethan Voltros sends this long shot through several players. Moratis got down and dirty for that one. Watch closely as Nick Perella kicks that one off a Buffalo State defender right to Alexis Archilla, squeaks that one by an outstretched Moratis. 1-0 Cardinals. Archilla and company excited after an entire 0-0 first period. It's 1-0 here in the second. Archilla trying again. Olays over Moratis. Still 1-0 Cardinals. Steven Linderman on a free kick just 46 seconds after the Archilla goal. Initially saved by Jordan. Matthew Wong, right place, right time, off a defender. Bengals tie it up 1-1 on this one. Good job there. Cardinals now looking to take the lead. CJ Serto on the breakaway. Great save by Moratis, and his defense was able to clean that one up. Cardinals again on the offense. Matt Hamilton offers one up, doesn't get to the net, but Alexis Archilla is there, and he adds his second goal of the day in the 82nd minute to give the Cardinals a 2-1 lead. Buffalo State with one more opportunity on the free kick, but it sent way high of the net. That would be all she wrote in this one as the Cardinals squeaked by 2-1. Our Steve Fowler would catch up with one of the Cardinals coaches after this 2-1 victory for the Cardinals.
Here with assistant coach Andrew Knight. Andrew Knight, 2-1 win. How do you feel about it?
Feel great. The guys really battled, came through, kept working. Couldn't get goals so late, but we got them when it mattered.
Archilla had both goals. How do you feel about that?
He just worked really hard. Great work rate up top. It's good to see it happen. It's his freshman year and hitting some big goals. So hopefully he can keep it going in the next game.
Okay, cool. Big win at home. Do you feel that you're going to take this momentum and move on to the next game?
Well, we lost a heartbreaker down in Oneonta last time, so we're really looking forward to getting back down there. My nose is killing me. We want another shot at him, so no extra motivation.
Thank you, Coach. Congratulations.
Now, just hours ago, the men's soccer team took on the Oneonta Red Dragons in the SUNYAC semifinals. This game would prove to be one of the toughest games for each team this year. With the championship berth on the line, the Cardinals and Matt Hamilton were able to squeak by one goal past goalie Vincent Peregrino, where Hamilton's shot deflected off a defender and found his way into the goal. Credit Steve Zaharchek with the assist. The Red Dragons would put up 7 shots, but Mitchell Jordan was able to save them all and help the Cardinals hold on to the 1-0 victory. The Cardinals will now travel to Cortland this Saturday to play for the SUNYAC title. Now, Derek, Cortland versus Plattsburgh for the title on the line. You can't beat this.
You want to talk about a flair for the dramatic. We talk about the volleyball team, and that's a line I love to use, a flair for the dramatic. With the soccer team this year, the Fabian Chaparro bicycle kick goal, number 3 on SportsCenter. Totally dramatic there. The way they beat Buffalo State, Alexis Archilla really stepping up, and against Oneonta, Matt Hamilton being the difference. This soccer team, it seems like all year, has just been ready for this kind of situation.
They definitely have, and like you said, there's so many people on this team that have stepped up, the Hamiltons, the Zaharchuks.
Right.
Everyone has come together as a team, as a group, as one. They're just dominating right now, and they're on this momentum track, and right now, but the thing about it is, it's not home, it's at Cortland. That's the one thing that kills. You're not at home with your fans there. Hopefully fans will be there for the game, but right now, I don't know which way it's going to go.
It's not all about the scores, though, Josh. It's not all about the scores. Mitchell Jordan, his last 2 games, he has played lights out. Have you seen some of the saves? Not to take anything away from the goalie, from what we saw in Buffalo State, he was phenomenal, too. Like, goaltending everywhere. Remember, in any sport, it's not just your offense, it's your defense, and Mitchell Jordan saved the day.
As a former goaltender
Yes.
myself, it's definitely hard. You have a lot of pressure on you. You're the last line of defense. And for what Mitchell Jordan's doing right now is simply incredible. He's got to keep it up, though. Pressure's on the line. SUNYAC finals. Hopefully he can prevail.
I think they will prevail. I think they've got a wonderful shot. Obviously, when you talk about Cortland, you look at the men's soccer, how they got here, though. It's been an up and down year. They lost their last game to St. Lawrence before coming into the playoffs, a 1-0 loss, and then they win 2-1, 1-0. It's really going to be interesting to see how they go against Cortland.
And so far, looking at the schedule right now, they've been through 3 overtime games, and every game seemingly has been close. They've been keeping it close every single game, and in the SUNYAC finals, like you said, it's going to be the tail of the tape with the goalies for both Cortland and Mitchell Jordan of Plattsburgh State, and it's going to be interesting.
I think looking back one more time and trying not to sound like the broken record I am, and I use the line a lot, I think this Plattsburgh season in general should fall under the umbrella of a flair for the dramatic. Throughout.
You feeling a bicycle kick?
I'm not from me personally. That's not going to happen, but maybe we'll see one. But when we come back, we're going to see how the women's hockey teams did at the start of their season.
And how the men's hockey team dominated the ice that Friday. Don't go anywhere. CSL will be right back.
That was awesome.
All right, Nicole, it's your turn. Okay.
Welcome you back to CSL on Live Night. The women's hockey team opened up their season on the road against Norwich. The number 1 ranked Cardinals would score early and often. Both Morgan McInnes and Bridget Blissi would get their first goals of the year in the first period just 55 seconds apart. The second period saw double the output for the Cardinals. Emma Rutherford started off the period with a goal. Ali Vakos, Jenny Kistner, and Bridget Blissi would follow. Blissi finished the day with 2 goals, and Sydney Avison would collect 18 saves on the day.
With their season just starting, the women's hockey team clinched a win at Norwich East-West Classic Championship, defeating Manhattanville. The Lady Cards, now 2-0, earned the win after Bridget Blissi put in the Cards on the board, the only goal of the game. Blissi, after 3 goals and 1 assist throughout the weekend, was named MVP of the tournament, as well as Averson and Allison Era, who represented Plattsburgh on the all-tournament team. Tomorrow, the Lady Cards will travel to Potsdam for the ECAC West opener beginning at 7 a.m.
p.m. Just 2 days after the 1-0 win against Manhattanville, the Lady Cards opened up the ECAC season on the road against Potsdam, like Josh iterated earlier. The Cardinals got on the board early and often, starting with Shannon Stewart. Early and often. She netted her first of 4, that's right, 4, just over 11 minutes into the game. Allison Era would add 1 in the first, second, and third for a hat trick of her own. Stewart had her hat trick early in the second period and added her 4th late in the third. Ali Vakos had a goal in the third as the Cardinals took down the Bears 8-0 on 57 shots. But moving from women's to men's, they had a game against Potsdam themselves at home. Let's take a look at that one. It was another great game. Let's take a look. And we're looking. Here we go. It was opening night in Cardinal country last Friday as the Cardinals took on the Bears of Potsdam, looking to make up for their SUNYAC championship loss at the hands of Oswego. Both teams were playing very physical early and often, around and away from the net. But check out John Hall here. And let's see on the other side, Matthew Cadeau of the Cardinals, both playing exceptionally well in the first period. And like we said, a very physical game. You see Cadeau falling there, playing extremely physical on the boards, around the net. Neither team conceding an inch when going for the puck. Check out Hall here. Not 1, not 2, not 3. How about a 4th backhander? Not gonna happen. John Hall was phenomenal. And then it gets a little heated and looks like he throws a little elbow there. Comes out of the net. Sticks in the air on both sides. Both teams really vested in this game. First period ended the way it began, with a 0-0 tie. The fans were out with pride as the arena sold out to the tune of 2,257 fans, packed into the gills. Cardinals win the opening faceoff, and it wouldn't take them long from there. You see Reutman near the far side, pass it over to Nick Jensen, quickly to Dylan Fox, back to Jensen, who wraps that one in for the first goal of the season, just 41 seconds into the second period. Again, it was Reutman to Fox to Jensen, 1-0 Cardinals. Physical play would not end there, but seemingly escalate. You can see right here in the corner. Well, we're going to look back at some more heavy hitting and some goalie action. Where's that corner? There it is, right there in the corner, both sides giving up no space in pursuit of the puck. Patrick Herman's goal made it 2-0. Watch Dylan Fox here, being roughed under the front of the net. Watch him gather himself here, send in a rebound onto the net, and on this day we can say for sure the Fox says goal. It was a rough and tumble game until the very last second, but the Cardinals took the home opener 3-0 on the strong play of Cadeau, Nick Jensen, Patrick Hermans, and Dylan Fox. Look at that. What a terrific game. It really was. Opening night in Cardinal country. We were there calling the game for WQKE. Best seats in the house. What did you take away from it?
Well, first off, the fans showed up for this game, and it's proud to see that. Over 2,000 people were there cheering on their Plattsburgh Cardinals, and that's what we said, Cardinal country. That's what it's all about with this hockey. Second, Bob Emery loves his freshmen. And like we said,
True.
Herman scored.
Yep.
He's already getting in the start. Like I said, Dakota Mason's going to do something later on WQKE.
Right.
But this team, he uses his freshmen a lot. He uses a lot of rotation. It's a lot of different people coming in, coming out, fresh legs, and that's the best thing you need.
Absolutely. They played phenomenal, and it was great to see. Let's take a look at some upcoming games. For the women's side, though, on the 9th, they've got Castleton. That's home at 3 p.m. On the 16th versus Buffalo State at home. And on the 17th versus Buffalo State, home at 2 p.m. Their next 5 games, Josh, are at home. A 5-game homestand. That's got to be great. Let's take a look at the men's upcoming games as well, though. On the 8th, it's SUNY Geneseo at home. The 9th, it's Brockport. The 15th, Fredonia away. So the men's and women's sides, let's talk about that for a few seconds. Big homestand. Big homestand. Gotta love that.
You definitely do. Like I reiterated before, the fans are coming out to these games. They're cheering on their Plattsburgh Cardinals. It's going to be packed again. People were standing. There they're so devoted. These fans in Cardinal country are devoted to their hockey, and they love it simply. And both of them are looking to make some noise and potentially go far in the playoffs.
Well, they're definitely looking to make noise because Plattsburgh, the ranking.
Yep.
What, number 2 in D3 hockey? I believe number 5 in the other one.
Yeah.
With Oswego kind of teetering around
Yeah.
there. You got to believe, though, Plattsburgh, the way they're playing, and they've got Castleton coming up next. Buffalo State. No, excuse me, that's the women's. They've got Brockport and Geneseo and Fredonia and Buffalo State. The SUNYAC games are here. They're going to take advantage. You know they are.
It's definitely huge. And 2 players I like to mention are Nick Jensen and Alex Jensen.
The brothers.
The brothers are just dominant. If one's on the ice, if both are on the ice, they are dominant together.
And we're going to see how that pans out throughout the year. But when we come back, we'll have our own Dave Edwards here to join us for more hockey action. Don't touch that dial. CSL will be right back.
At 4016 Route 9 in Plattsburgh is a great venue for your next party or to take family and friends. Enjoy the scenic views of Lake Champlain while dining on the main deck or inside. Known for seafood, steak, and spirits, its friendly atmosphere will keep you coming back. Open from 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. each night until New Year's.
That was awesome.
All right, Nicole, it's your turn. Okay.
Welcome back into CSL. We're happy to bring back the birthday boy today, Dave Edwards. Dave, happy birthday.
Thank you very much. I'm an old man now.
Yeah,
so.
he's an old man. We're going to get right into that hockey highlight. Again, opening night in Cardinal country. Let's bring that back right now, and let's go over it a little bit. We talked about the fact, very physical play early on, opening night, Cardinal country. You know the Cardinals are going to bring it, but I didn't necessarily see Potsdam being that physical.
Yeah, I was quite surprised. I mean, Mike Warren and I, we called the game for PSTV, as you guys mentioned about WQKE.
Right.
We were quite surprised at the physicality that Potsdam showed. They came in, and the slate was wiped clean, obviously. That's the biggest thing. They came in last year, not such a good season. They're ranked 7th in the SUNYAC this year, and they came out playing well. That first period was a wash. No one really took advantage. Potsdam had a good chance on a breakaway. Matthew Godot was big on the save, but really, in that first period, there was no clear favorite in that game.
Talk about the goaltending real quick. John Hall, 51 shots on goal, 48 saves.
Honestly, like John Hall was the third star of the game, which was well deserved.
Absolutely.
He had received a nice ovation from the Plattsburgh fans. He stood on his head. There's
definitely.
no way to describe the way he played that game. He was aggressive too. There was 3 or 4 instances he came out of his crease, probably about 15, 20 feet, to play the puck on a loose puck coming toward the net. So
Definitely.
it was an interesting. He played well.
Talk about this goal right here.
Let's see, this is Jensen. This is the Jensen goal. Nice wrist shot from the point. That's the one thing that I like about this team. The defense are not afraid to jump in on the rush, and especially that was a 5-on-3. You better get that puck in and trap that team deep in their zone.
One of the stories of the game, though, the physical play, the bodies on the ice. Looked like John Hall led with like a forearm kind of thing going on there. Physical on the boards, in the corner, everything.
Yeah, the 1-2, John Hall, not only making big saves for Potsdam, he might have been their toughest player that night. Like you mentioned, he came out, took a swipe, and John Hall showed that not only did he play great in goal, but I mean the story's not all about John Hall. We're making a lot about he played a great game. Plattsburgh, didn't play their best game, but it was the first one of the season, so we can kind of give them a little slack on that.
You got to love the love. You got to love the output, I should say, from the freshman,
Yep.
Patrick Hermans. Phenomenal.
He stood out all night long. It wasn't just the goal he scored on the second period.
Right.
It was like I mentioned his name. I swear I probably mentioned it 6-7 times. Just making smart plays with the puck. As a freshman, that's huge. You see freshmen stepping up, just like last season. Mike and I dubbed them the freshman connection.
Right.
Now they're the sweet sophomore. I don't know. That's kind of something. But Patrick Hermans played a strong game, as did Dakota Mason. So I mean, the team looks strong. They had a few moments of you could tell Bob Emery was not happy with a few things. But
Talk about that. What did you see?
First period was interesting because they were very sloppy with the puck.
Right.
There were a few turnovers in their own zone, which led to a breakaway. But it's the first game of the season. You're not expecting your best game first game of the season. But when you have Matthew Godot in goal,
right,
you can make mistakes like that. Not all the time because you don't want to see that. But he's going to keep you in games, even if the team's not playing their best.
Definitely great to see. Now, the things you liked, though, we talk about the things we hate forever and a day, because everyone seems to like to hear about them. But the good things, though, they still did win 3-0.
They did win 3-0. Matthew Godot, good start. He
Oh,
only
God,
made
yes.
11, 14 saves, somewhere in that area.
14.
The power play went 2 for 4. Solid start. I mean, granted, one of the goals was on a 5-on-3, but you expect to cash in on a 5-on-3 instance. You want to put the puck in the net, especially early in the second period. The game, as we mentioned, was a wash up to that time. That goal early in the second period, and then the other power play goal in the second. But the biggest thing to me is that third goal was what makes the game. It's 2-0 Plattsburgh. Yeah. Plattsburgh scores, makes it 3-0. If Potsdam scores, even 2-1 game. It's a completely different game right there. So that third goal early in the third kind of, I think, didn't seal it, but took a lot of life out of Potsdam.
This Friday, home against Geneseo. What do you see coming out of this one?
It should be a lot more interesting. I'm not interesting. That's a bad word to say. It should be a lot more competitive, I'd say, because Geneseo is a good hockey club. I mean, they're better than Potsdam, which no shots against Potsdam. I don't want to be that guy. Potsdam came into the Ronald B. Stafford Ice Arena and played a terrific game, but Geneseo beat Plattsburgh last year, one of the losses Plattsburgh had. So they're going to be looking, especially Cardinal country at the Stafford Arena. They're going to be coming out. They're going to be playing hard.
So what needs to be fixed in that instance? You say Geneseo, and year to year, I mean, professional to collegiate level hockey, a lot more turnover. Year to year, new players coming in. Obviously, when you're a senior, you check out. When you're a freshman, you come in and you got your time. What would they need to work on against Geneseo? Is there anything left, or is it like is it a wash between teams?
I mean, on paper, it looks like a wash. If Plattsburgh plays their first period as rough as they did with a few turnovers, Geneseo, I think, has more players that can capitalize and put the puck in the net.
Well, it's going to be great to see. I'd like to thank Dave Edwards again. Happy birthday, sir.
Thank you.
Pleasure to
I
have you
that.
back,
Oh,
especially on
a
Live
pleasure.
Night. But that's going to do it for us today. I'd like to thank Dave Edwards. I'd like to thank Josh Luttrell for doing one heck of a job filling in for everyone here. I'm Derek Palaki. Enjoy Live Night. Everyone, have a great night.